Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, the return of TNA Wrestling Total Non-Stop Action. TNA Hard to Kill, first show of 2024. I love the rebrand, I love the titles and everything. I think it's going to be a great relaunch of an old brand. Been a TNA fan since 2006. Been to Hard Justice 07 at the Impact Zone. Been to a couple shows since then. Watch everything. So yeah, definitely wasn't going to miss the return of TNA. So first match on the countdown to Hard to Kill. We had Steve Maclin versus Swann, two former champions, two wrestlers who kind of are looking to kind of get that next step into TNA to see where they can be at. Steve Maclin just hard-nosed, straightforward, going to kick your ass. Swann, that kind of little party guy, kind of more that kind of boisterous, kind of outgoing, fun-having guy. Just two different styles here. Steve Maclin getting the victory, ended up giving it a 3-star. Next up, we had Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, two TNA originals, teaming up, going against a new faction that was created on the pre-show called The System. Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, Alisha Edwards, and Moose, and D'Angelo Williams, formerly of the Carolina Panthers. Them creating their new faction called The System. Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards' first time out as The System, was able to get the victory over Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian in 2 3/4 star match. Then we had the TNA Digital Media Championship on the line, no disqualification. Champion Crazy Steve versus Tommy Dreamer. Kind of the whole passing of the torch, I would say. Tommy, kind of the hardcore legend, so in the no disqualification match, I think, oh, this is down right now in Tommy's alley, but yet you had Crazy Steve trying to hit Tommy in the head with forks, and shoved forks out of his shirt, and was doing the corner moves on him, drop kicks and everything, and just taking it to him. And then Crazy Steve, because he is crazy, won the Digital Media title in the no disqualification match, ended up giving it 1 3/4. It was okay. Then the show began with the TNA Knockout Ultimate X match. We had 6 great knockouts in this match who had the ability to do this match and make it look like it should. Some matches you see, certain matches you don't get the same outcome when it's a knockout versus a non-knockout. It's not as hard, some of the Hell in a Cell the two don't really match up, men's and women's. But this one here, because of the ability they all have, it was straight up kind of a lot like one of the men's Ultimate X matches. Gisele Shaw, Alisha Edwards, Dani Luna, Jody Threat, Tasha Steelz, Zaya Brookside. We know the history of these women, how talented they are. Zaya Brookside, she came from NXT UK. Dani Luna came from NXT UK. Tasha Steelz, she's been TNA for a while. Jody Threat, she's been all over the indies. Gisele Shaw came from Rev Pro. So they got talent, they got background. They've all been champions in wrestling. But to watch them go out there and have Jody Threat climbing the I guess whatever you want to call it, the standard thing to go up to the cables. Climbing up that with Alisha Edwards on her back, having Dani Luna, Jody Threat, and Gisele Shaw climbing across the cables and trying to beat each other through the X, and then Shaw taking the X and knocking each of them off of the cables, and you had people diving out off the standards are climbing up, you had dives off the top rope, you had all that good stuff that really made this match kind of like really must see. 12 minutes long. Gisele Shaw getting the victory there, dropping down with the X, #1 contender. I give it 3 1/4. Next up, we had the rebirth of PCO versus Dirty Dango and his entourage of Alpha Bravo and Olga Protas. Olga Protas, yes, that is Vladimir Kozlov from back in the day. This match ended in the DQ when Alpha Bravo went to knock PCO off the ropes, and the referee was standing right there. Literally got right in front of the referee. So PCO won in DQ by DQ, minute 24. I gave it 1 star. Then we had Director of Authority Santina Marella come out and say we're not going to do that. We're going to make a 6-man tag match because we know if it's only a 2-on-2 that Alpha Bravo would get involved. So we're going to make Alpha Bravo and Dirty Dango and Olga Prudius and versus PCO, Rhino, and their third man will be Jake something. Random, but cool, because Jake something is uber talented. I'm glad he got on the card. He's the kind of guy that, within the right circumstance, him, a Hammerstone, Brian Cage, those kind of guys are just so athletic, have such athletic ability. They're big guys, power, but yet they can do athletic stuff. But this match went that way with Jake something doing the start of the match. He literally ran down the ramp and dived into the ring. Jake something, PCO, and Rhino getting the victory. 7 minutes and 27 seconds. I ended up giving it 2.5. Next up, since we did not get a reveal of the TNA Knockout Tag Titles, though that reveal was done here on the show with MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich, showing off the new TNA Knockout Tag Titles. And then they had a match against the returning, not Courtney Rush, and Jessica CK because she is sick. It was Decay, the Undead Realm got a hold of him, and Havok and Rosemary are back. They were able to beat the unbeatable MK Ultra in 6 minutes. I'm going to give them this match 2 3/4 star. For this match, we had the AAA, or the Lucha Libre AAA CFO with Scott D'Amore signing a contract for AAA Wrestling and TNA Wrestling to be partners. So we'll have more AAA talent in TNA and vice versa. I love that. A lot of the AAA stuff, just like with New Japan, if AAA had English commentary, I would watch it. Just like I do New Japan. Because I think it's just a different, just like British Strong Style, just like the New Japan Strong Style. AAA Lucha Libre, huge Lucha Libre fan. CMLL the same way. If they had English commentary, I'd watch every show. But having the AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo on a TNA card, he's been on AEW, he's been in oodles of indie promotions I've watched. He's been in GCW. We've had Vikingo versus Gringo Loco all over the Northeast. But having El Hijo del Vikingo with in a match with one of the greatest X Division champions ever, Chris Sabin, and along with former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion KUSHIDA. 13 minutes of just Vikingo did now mind you, the ramp came to the ring where you just walked across. You didn't have the steps or anything. Second rope, 450 onto the ramp. And then you had Sabin doing a running Canadian Destroyer on Vikingo on the ramp. And here in Hannafin going, that's a kind of a homage to former TNA X Division champion Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer in Canada. Dude, or doing a Canadian Destroyer. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Play homage to Petey Williams, former X Division champion. I love it. This match was great. 4-star match. Chris Sabin getting the victory, retaining this title. Before this, we had a car show up on the outside. A driver gets out. A lady gets out in high heels. A white kind of fur with long blonde hair. The internet goes around. Who is it? It's Jade Cargill. They use the term Worlds Collide. This is a premium live event. TNA, WWE's having a relationship. One, it was Jade Cargill because she's white. Number 2, other companies use premium live events because it's streaming on a streaming package and it's not technically a pay-per-view for everyone. Yeah, so all that aside, come to find out it was Ava by whatever. It was Dana Brooke and a vague Tony Storm. Yeah, she kind of looks like Tony Storm a little bit. We'll see where that goes. But Dana Brooke is in TNA. Alright, so we had next up Alex Hammerstone and Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander, former TNA or Impact Wrestling World Champion. Hammerstone, basically here on a tryout. He's not even signed a contract that I know of. He's been around different indie companies, but went out there against Josh Alexander, put on one hell of a fight. These two, Hammerstone is the quintessential like a Brian Cage. That just uber big, talented, strong, bulk guy who can do athletic moves. And Josh Alexander is just that wrestler who can go out there and be the longest reigning champion in the history of a company. And he's done it. 3 3/4 star match, 15 minutes of just excellence. Josh Alexander getting the victory. Next up, we had a Fatal 4-Way for the TNA World Tag Titles. We had champion ABC Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Bullet Club, going up against the grizzled young veterans. Liverpool's #1, Zach Gibson, and James Drake going up against the Rascals, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. It was post-event Speedball Mike Bailey and Mustache Mountain's Trent Seven and Speedball Mountain. But, unfortunately, due to travel issues, Trent Seven wasn't able to make it. The Laredo Kid took his spot. 4 teams, one of the greatest tag divisions in wrestling right now. ABC Club retaining their tag titles, 3.5 star. Next up, we have the TNA Knockout World Title on the line. Champion Trinity defending against Jordan Grace. A lot of rumors of Trinity leaving after this match, so it was pretty much expected of Jordan Grace becoming a 3-time knockout champion, which she did. 15-minute match. These ladies went out there and put on a great match. 3.5 star. Trinity was under the watchful eye in one of the boxes with her former friend Bailey, WWE Women Talent, WWE Talent, and then Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, the quote free agent. Where will Sasha go back to WWE? Will Trinity go back to WWE? Here's the thing. They walked away from WWE as champions. Why would they go back? There's been so many rumors about Mercedes Moné. Is she going back to WWE? Is she in the Royal Rumble? Will she show up at AEW? Who knows? I think her and Trinity do show up in AEW. I think they do. And AEW will announce women's tag titles. That's my think on that. But Jordan Grace retaining her title. Next up, main event, TNA World Title line, former champion Moose going up against current champion Alex Shelley. When this match was announced after Moose winning the briefcase that Feaster fired, and they announced the TNA Rebirth, I knew Moose was winning. I knew going into the new era of TNA, you're going to have Moose as your champion. I think Moose holds his title for a year. I think in 1 year from now, we're still looking at Moose as world champion. They're going to build him up as the top dog of the company. He will be the Roman Reigns of TNA before 2024 is over. I think Alex Shelley has been, not in my opinion, but I think people in wrestling look at Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin. They are typecast into X Division guys, not as main event World Heavyweight Champions. Same way with Jay Lethal. Same way with Loki. I think Christopher Daniels kind of typecasted almost. They were such great X Division champions. They can't get. I mean, AJ and Joe were able to break that mold and become world champions, but I don't think Alex Shelley and Sabin and Jay Lethal has. So Moose is your champion going forward. I know there's been a lot of internet talk of how TNA is now the second company. Guys, no. They're the third company right now. TNA is Impact Wrestling with a new name. That's it. All they've done so far is change the name. They haven't had a weekly show to build storylines, to build stories to this pay-per-view since November. Most of these matches had zero build to them. You complain on the internet about AEW not having storylines like WWE. They're not WWE. Yes, they're going to be similar to WWE because they have wrestling, and WWE is wrestling or sports entertainment. But they're not exactly the same as WWE. Neither is TNA, neither was Ring of Honor, neither is Progress Wrestling, neither is New Japan, neither is this company. They're a version of WWE, yes. Everyone's all a version of the same. They're all pro wrestling. They all base storylines. They all have this, and they all have titles. But everyone is a little bit different. Is TNA perfect? No. Is AEW perfect? No. Is WWE perfect? No, because people wouldn't leave if it was. People left. Same with AEW. If it was perfect, people wouldn't leave. People left. TNA, if it was perfect, yeah, exactly. Nowhere's perfect. If you can't enjoy pro wrestling, what are you doing? We need WWE to be strong. We need AEW to be strong. We need TNA to be strong. The stronger these three companies are, the more it drives other companies. The stronger New Japan is. When TNA and AEW weren't there, and WWE was by itself, and TNA was just little bitty egg in 2002, WWE was crap. WWE gets better when they have better other companies. So this is 2024 will be a monumental year for pro wrestling. Do I think the attendance number is going to show it? No. People watch from home more now. Are the ratings going to show it? Here's the thing, people. A lot of ratings don't count because they're streaming now. So I think ratings is a unique number. I don't know how you're going to see this momentous year of 2024. I think it's going to be just watching the matches. Pro wrestling is 90% opinion, 10% fact. The fact is we have three major companies in the United States right now. The opinion is WWE is number 1, AEW is number 2, TNA is number 3. What's going to happen when we enter 2025? Could AEW be number 1? Could TNA be number 1? Could WWE be number 3? Only time will tell. That is the TNA Hard to Kill review. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content. Now, if you are an independent wrestling fan, check out the showcase to the independents. I have the best of Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling, the best of live pro wrestling. Former WWF Hall of Famer Sidney Bacabella retweeted multiple of my independent videos. Make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching.